All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It's great to be with you. Today is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. We get together most weekday mornings at this time, 8 o'clock Central, to talk about the grant, how it works, how it can benefit possibly you, and how it can benefit others. My screen is split here. My shared screen is split. On the left-hand side, we have 509pacific.org. That is our nonprofit website. At the top has some information about Quick Cash. In the middle, how to get access to the grant, to get the free Shelf Corp, the $1,000, and essentially have the infrastructure to be able to get funding. And then we go down to the bottom where we can get a free funding proposal. So it used to be that we primarily focused on everyone coming in, getting a free Shelf Corp, and then going to funding. But we do realize that a lot of people have a business already. They don't necessarily want the Shelf Corp, they just want the funding. With that being said, we have evolved in how we work with our distribution partners. And so anyone that's looking to help others and get paid, also on 509pacific.org, can become an affiliate for free. There's no cost to be an affiliate, there's no requirement to participate, there's no production requirements, and you get a free landing page. The free landing page looks like what's on the right-hand side of the screen. Once you become an affiliate, which is free, you'll need to submit your first deal in to trigger commission payouts and also to trigger our development team to create your own landing page. So if you become an affiliate here, you click on it, fill out the affiliate terms and conditions. In short order, you'll get an email. The email will give you instructions. It'll give you a temporary link to submit your first deal in, and then afterwards, you'll have your own landing page that looks like this. Now, the interim page that you'll use for your very first one also looks like this. I will, and I'll notify and apologize. There was a glitch in the referred by field, but that has been fixed. This was a converted field from a date field, and it had some error in it, but it had an error, but it's corrected now. So as you think about earning money, so all of us pretty much, unless you're disabled or retired, I guess the rest of us in society, we need to earn money. And there's lots of ways to earn money. One category is to go get a job. So you work for someone else, and there are, I guess, pros and cons of everything. But really, the world that we work in, you and I, we work in, are people that really don't want jobs. They want to be entrepreneurs. They want to create jobs and provide employment opportunities for others. So your and my focus is to work with entrepreneurs, small business owners. Maybe it's someone that's thinking about starting a business. Maybe it's someone that has already started. Maybe it's someone that's quite successful, but they need additional funding. I want to make sure, and it's my goal today, to make sure you see how simple of a proposition this is. Because in life, the more complicated things are, the less likely that people will do them. When we had different types of distribution models before, they were complicated. And because of that, not everyone could succeed because of their time, their intellect, their bandwidth. But there's actually, I think, no reason that everyone can't be immensely successful with the affiliate proposition. So let's focus in on it. Now, once in a while, we'll bring on a new affiliate and they'll have a million questions. But as an affiliate, what do you need to know? What do you need to communicate to be successful? It's literally just what's on the screen. So let's go through it. We're offering, you and I, we're offering through the affiliate program people to get a free funding proposal. So that's what we're proposing. We're not proposing them to go get a Shelf Corp. Maybe they want one, maybe they don't, maybe they don't understand Shelf Corp. So we don't really want to bring up the Shelf Corp proposition. Is it a resource that's available through the grant? Sure, but that's not what you're talking about. The most successful affiliates are able to understand their role, and it is to feed people in to get free funding proposals. So don't get bogged down with the bigger picture. Just offer this proposition and you'll be able to get a lot of traction. So the free funding proposal is specifically what we're offering. As far as what do you need to say, really it's on this page right here. This is probably all that you're going to need to say to encourage people to move forward. So let's go through it. Do you need funding to start or grow a business? You can request a free funding proposal to see what you qualify for by simply completing the form below. No, there are no minimum credit scores. No, there's no upfront costs. No, there's no hard inquiries. No, there's no minimum time in business, and even startups qualify. But also, you could not even have a business yet and still qualify. You get to pick the funding offers that you want and decline those that you don't. So, as an affiliate, I'm not asking you to not use your education, your experience, your intellect, but I think many of you are overcomplicating the proposition. So I'll get affiliate questions where they're wanting to know a lot of other things, and we're very transparent, but that's a good sign that that person probably won't be successful because they're not just pitching a free funding proposal, they're combining it with a bunch of other messages, and people want simple. So if you can drive people to your free landing page that looks like this, I can describe what will happen and how you'll get paid. So let's go ahead and do that. So you get a free landing page that looks like this. It'll have a link, and at the end, there'll be a unique ID number that links to you. So that way you're getting paid for everyone that comes through. How do you get paid? You're paid 5 points, 5% of each referred client's capital raise. And for those of you that have been around this industry, that's a really generous payout. It's rare that it's so high. But at 5 points, you know that you should make at least 5,000 for each person you refer in, because what's going to happen? We're going to take these individuals, they're going to get the funding proposal to fill out, which I've shown you before. It's a simple one pager. Top half is business information. It's optional if they don't have any or all of it. Bottom half is business owner information, the person themselves. Everyone gets at least one offer. Many people will get multiple offers. But from there, then we work with them in building out a loan package and getting a fundable business. And with that, we promise them a minimum of $100,000 capital raise. So if they're going to get at least $100,000 and you're getting 5% of that, then you can anticipate that you'll generate at least 5,000 by simply referring people in. Crazy simple, right? Now, a lot of people want more than 100,000. So it could be whatever it is they want that we build the package out for, but let's just contrast the 100,000 with a million. So let's say that someone wants $1 million capital raise. You'd still feed them in the same way. So you don't need to ask them how much money they want or what they want to use it for. You don't need to ask them, do they have a current business? Is it profitable? You don't need to ask them, do they have good credit, bad credit? None of that matters. All you're asking is, hey, would you like to get a free funding proposal? So by keeping it painfully simple, it doesn't take much time or effort to drive people over to your landing page. From that, we take care of the whole implementation sequence, and you're making 5 points. The minimum you should make per referral is the $5,000, 5% of 100,000, but it could very well be a lot more. Who of you have, which of you, I guess who of you, have questions on the affiliate role? Because I need to make sure that you like Amanda's came aboard and she's been an affiliate for what about a week now, and I don't think that you're producing much, Amanda. So I'm not calling you out to embarrass you, but that means that we're not doing a good job because if you any of you, those of you that are affiliates, you wouldn't have signed up to be an affiliate if you didn't want to use this as a resource to help people and make money. But some of you have signed up and you're not helping people and not making money. So that's my goal today to make sure that we understand the process. All right, so Brian wants a little more understanding of what happens step by step. So let's, and that's fine because you would want to know what happens next. So once the prospect comes to your landing page and fills it out, now again, for your first deal, you need to submit a deal in before you get your free landing page. And we've covered that, and that's addressed in your onboarding. So, like Rod saying he doesn't have his landing page. Well, Rod, have you submitted someone in that's gone through the process and gotten funding? Because if you do that, then that triggers the commission payout, and that also triggers us to build you a landing page. So Rod, you're saying you didn't receive your landing page. Have you done what it takes to get a free landing page? It's not pay money, but it's to sign up as an affiliate. You get a temporary link, and that link, quite frankly, is to this exact page. And then once you have your whether it be you or someone else has gone through the process, receive funding, and I'll give you the timeline and expectations just a second, then that triggers a payout for you, and that triggers also the development of your own landing page. So everyone starts by referring into our generic one initially, and you'll see the instructions of that on your affiliate onboarding. But once you've done one deal, then we get a W-9 from you, we get the direct deposit information so we can start paying you, and then our development team will build your own landing page. But going back to Brian's question, so when your prospect fills this out, whether it be initially on the this page, which is our page, or once you have your unique one, the process is the same. They need to put in their first name, last name, mobile phone, email. And once you have your own landing page, this is not important because it's coded to you. On your very first one, this is important because it's a generic one. They check this box, they click the bar at the bottom, and then it's going to immediately take them to the contract. Well, I shouldn't say the contract. It'll take them immediately to the funding proposal application. So on their screen, it'll immediately change from this, once they've completed this, to the funding proposal application. Also, it will send them a text, and as long as they respond yes, then we'll be able to include them in the drip marketing sequence where we'll be hitting them periodically with text to educate, to motivate them, to encourage them to again get a free funding proposal. But it's really, really simple, right? Because the moment they complete this and hit the blue bar, this screen will automatically change and become the app, so they're ready to go ahead and get their free funding proposal. So as I've described and shown you on other trainings, the top half is the business information, which I mentioned a few minutes ago. It's all optional. So if they don't have a business, fine. If they do have a business, fine. If they have a business and they only have part of the information, that's fine. It's very flexible in the top half. Bottom half is business owner information. They'll complete that and it'll come into us, and then it goes into our lender match software. Again, no upfront costs, no hard inquiries. Everyone's going to get at least one offer. But we'll run it through our lender match software, and the normal person will get lots of different offers. Now, we've trained you on examples of those offers. So if we go back to 509pacific.org and go back down here, this is the training that shows you examples of success stories that people have received from the free funding proposal. So yes, it's real. Yes, it works. So from that, then they get their initial offers. They can select one or more from. That puts money in their pocket right away. That generates a commissionable event for you. Then at that point, we work with them to build out the fundability of their business to get at least 100,000. So think of it as two tranches, two rounds of funding. The first tranche, the first round is nearly immediate. Normally, they should have that money in their bank account within 7 days. And I think that was the question that Brian was asking. So if you're an affiliate and you drive people through either our landing page for your first deal or your personalized landing page that'll look the same, it'll just be a unique code to you. From the time they complete that, it's like 1 second until it brings up on the screen the actual app. Now they need to fill out the app. If they don't fill it out right away, again, they'll get the drip marketing to encourage them, but you can encourage them as well if you wish, if you are actually on the phone with them. And then they'll get the offers within 24 hours, and then normally they'll have the money in their bank account within 7 days. What type of funding will it be? It depends on their app. We have a lot of folks getting business lines of credit, but it'll vary because, again, that's why they need the app to fill out so we can do a lender match to what they qualify for initially. So, who has questions on that process? Because again, we've got a lot of you who have recently signed up to be an affiliate, but then your production is zero. And that doesn't make sense, right? Because you're smart, you're motivated, you've wanted to become an affiliate, you signed up to be an affiliate, but you're not implementing. So that's why I wanted today to make sure you understood how simple it is. Again, there's a handful of you that overcomplicate it, and that reduces your conversions because all you're asking them to do is to complete the form to get a free funding proposal. You don't need to go in. I know we have these daily Zooms and we've covered lots and lots of information over the days and the weeks and the months. But as an affiliate, it's not your job, it's not your role to go explain anything than this proposition because this is all that we're asking them to do at this time. So, with that, what questions do any of you have on how simple it is? Because as we started our conversation, this is about making money. You need to decide, do you want to help people and make money as an affiliate? By doing so, you're looking at the low end, 5,000, on the higher end, quite possibly 50,000 or more, by simply driving people to your landing page and having them, of course, fill it out and complete it. So it's a affiliate marketing is very lucrative, but you are going to need leads. And then other than the leads, you just need to follow the model. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And so I realize, as Rod's mentioned in his posting, people will ask you a lot of questions. And so some of you are like, well, I need to be able to answer all those questions or I can't do this. I would say that that's not correct. As an affiliate, it's not your job to go answer any questions other than, hey, do you want a free funding proposal? Hey, do you need money to start or grow a business? Our operations team takes care of everything else. The more you talk, and I hate to say this, the more you talk, the less money you'll probably make as an affiliate. So you want to understand your role. And I can make many different analogies, but I guess I'll try to pick one. So if you go to the doctor, so you need to go to the doctor. So you call to make an appointment. So that's your entry point into the doctor's appointment. If you talk to that receptionist, that scheduler, about your diagnosis and your symptoms and your treatment plan, what is he or she going to say? Whoa, 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 slow it down there. I'm just here to schedule your appointment. you'll talk to the doctor about that because the receptionist, the secretary, the scheduler knows his or her role. As an affiliate, I'm not trying to compare you to a receptionist, but your role is simply to get people to come into the system. So no matter what questions they ask beyond the most basic elements of what I've described here, it's not your scope to answer. And we don't really want you to answer a bunch of questions because what if you answer it wrong? Or what if you create expectations that we can't meet? So we don't want that. So keeping it simple is crucial. You don't need to know a lot to be an affiliate. Now, some of you just you don't like that. It doesn't feel right. Like you feel like you should know more and you do more. Well, we have an in-person training, a certification training that I'm not here to promote, but going forward, if you want to be more involved, more strategically involved, and know everything from A to Z and all the processes, you need to come in and get certified because we've been, I hate to say this, burnt. We've been, it's been our problem that we've had people that have gone out, didn't get certified, started sharing things with clients that weren't always true, and then we're kind of left with the bag of poop to clean up. So we're not going to do that anymore. So the affiliate role, it's free, it's easy, it's lucrative. But if that's just not what you can do, you can't lower yourself to make 100,000 a month or whatever it might be as an affiliate, then you would need to come in and get certified because while these Zoom trainings are nice pieces of information, it's not designed, it's not able to give you everything that you need to know. So that's really where we're at as an organization is we need to decide, do you want to be you can be nothing, of course, not work with us, but as an affiliate, you should be able to make six figures a month. And that's a realistic expectation. How does that happen? You drive people into your landing page and you get paid from their funding. You don't have to know much, you don't have to invest anything. So I would say generating 100,000 a month as an affiliate is a reasonable expectation. If that's not good enough for you, that's not the fit you need, then we definitely would need you to come in and get certified so you have thorough knowledge of all the processes so we don't keep getting burnt with people going out to the marketplace misrepresenting how it works and client expectations. So again, if they ask you questions that's beyond the scope of getting the free funding proposal, think about that receptionist at the doctor's office, even the nurse. So let's say you called, made that appointment, and then you got the appointment, you went in, and usually there's a nurse that's going to room you, take your vitals, take your biometrics, blood pressure, and so forth. What if you started asking that nurse about your diagnosis and your treatment plan and concerns about medication complexities and such? That nurse is going to say, whoa, 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 you got to talk to the doctor about that. That doesn't mean that the nurse probably makes 80,000 a year. So it's not that she's unsophisticated, but it's not her role. So that's really the key is if you can be a good affiliate, you can spend no money, spend relatively no time, and earn a great income. And I've worked with some of you. I know a number of you make a lot of money, like Lamy and Mark Moses and such, but a lot of you aren't making much money. I would at least try this for a month. Say, you know what? I'm going to try to be an affiliate and follow that role for 1 month. Let's do it between now and let's say January 9th. That gives us 30 days. I think you would be immensely surprised and pleased and satisfied with helping people and making money with no investment and minimal time. All right, so let's see who else has a questions. Aziz. So Aziz, you do have your temporary landing page. Everyone should have their temporary landing page. If you've come to 509 Pacific and requested to be an affiliate, filled out that form, then we send you an email, and the email has your link to your temporary landing page. But again, the temporary landing page is this page. That's why we added this field. And again, for those of you that came on late, there was a glitch initially, but we fixed that on this new field. So the first one, that prospect will need to put in your name or we won't know. But once you have the first one in, now you get your W-9, now you get your commissions, and then now you'll have your own landing page, which will be a unique link. We're going to go ahead and leave this on the landing pages that you have just in case you're getting referrals where you need to track, because maybe you're getting referrals from pastors or getting referrals from bankers. So we wouldn't be providing you a bunch of different landing pages for each of your referral partners, but instead you would have one landing page and you could instruct them to put their name on if you're doing some sort of revenue share with them. All right, Alexander has a question and asks, what if it's denied? That's the point. Everyone gets at least one offer. Everyone. So no one gets declined for all offers. That doesn't mean everyone gets accepted for all offers. That's too good to be true, because that would mean they have like 40 different lenders offering them money, and that would be probably millions of dollars. So theoretically, that could happen. But everyone gets at least one offer. And that's the way it's written, and that's the way it's designed. So that way everyone can participate. So it's painfully simple. I think some of you are just too committed, too smart to simplify and follow this model. But there are other affiliate programs that you could consider. Nordstrom has a very lucrative one. Nike has one. I believe Bentley and Ferrari has one. So, I mean, you could be an affiliate offering some other good or service, but I don't think you'll find others that can generate this type of income because you're essentially a broker. You're solving problems. There's people that want money to start or grow a business, and you're providing them access to get that, and there's no cost to you, and there's no upfront cost to them. All right, let's see. Rudy has a question. Yeah, so 509 Pacific is our main website, and that's where we started, Rudy. And then I had opened up this to show you the landing page that you'll have. You'll have a temporary landing page for your first deal, and then after you've done your first deal, then you'll have your own. It's going to look the same, but the difference is the ID number. All right. Looks like Todd has a question, and it's a good question, and he's smarter than most. So he's asking, what's the most important thing he should know to be successful as an affiliate? So, and this might surprise you, but here's the answer. If you can be, Todd and everyone else, if you can be with them either in person or on the phone when they're filling this out. Now, I know you sometimes you can't because you'll have your own landing page and you'll be marketing it out, and people you don't even know will be going to it. But that first person you'll want to handhold through, and best practice would be to handhold all. So, what does that mean? So, you can make the pitch, explain the proposition, text the person the link, but then be on the phone with them while they're doing it. So, not that they need your help knowing their first name, last name, mobile number, or email, but then you can make sure they put your name in, and then they'll check this box and they'll click the bar, and then immediately the funding proposal comes up. What maybe should be obvious to you, if you're actually either with them or on the phone with them when that happens, then you can walk them through the actual application and make sure that they actually complete it. Because if you don't do that, now you're kind of on a trust basis of when will they get around to doing it. So back to Todd's question, best practice would be to literally either be physically with them or on the phone with them when you give them the link so you can walk them through it and be there to make sure they complete it. But you don't have to, and I understand some methods of marketing aren't going to allow that. But for the first one, it's definitely recommended because you're going to be using our generic landing page for the first one. So they need to put your name in. Again, once you have one underneath your belt, you get your own landing page. It doesn't matter if they put in. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns that any of you have? And I know that's probably still ringing in the background, so I'll get rid of that. Any questions, comments, concerns anyone has that I can help you with today? All right. Well, I think we're set. We will see you back tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a great day. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.